Bye-bye, everything's dead. What's up, friends? How's it going? I got a Void Hunter build here I wanted to show everyone. It's a really good build to run solo, or it is a very good build to run with your fire team. We're going to be using On the Prowl, the new aspect that Bungie added to Destiny. This will work really well with your fire team, and we will get into why. But this build is going to be using Orpheus Rig, and we're going to be using Telesto, and I will talk about all those details in a minute here. Let's get into the subclass here. So we're going to be using Gambler's Dodge, which of course when you dodge near an enemy, you're going to get your melee back. For melee, we're going to be using Snare Bomb. When you throw your Snare Bomb down, you're going to create this like weakening cloud, right? And that's going to play into the aspects as well, which we will talk about in a second here. For the grenade, I use Scatter Grenade because I just love Scatter Grenade. You can use whatever you want. Okay, let's talk about the aspects now. We're going to use Stylish Executioner. The way it works is that when you defeat a weakened or suppressed enemy, you are going to go invisible. Pair that with On the Prowl. So with On the Prowl, you can only mark powerful combatants, red bar enemies, and I think like maybe mini bosses, but major like big bosses you cannot mark with this. Basically, you kill that enemy, you are going to create this like weakening cloud, right? And it weakens everything around it. When you or your team pass through that cloud, you are going to get ability regeneration. So it also helps increase your like reload speed, your stability for your weapons, and it's just like really good to run on a fire team or even solo. I love it a lot. This build though is centered around a lot of weakening effects, and there's a lot of sources with your abilities, fragments, and weapons that are going to create a lot of weakening effects on enemies. So you're always going to be going invisible. It's pretty fucking crazy. All right, let's get into the fragments. So the first one I'm running here is Cessation. Finish your final blows creates a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile. Defeating volatile targets create a void breach. So the void breaches are important. Once you run through those, you get class ability energy, which is nice to synergize with like all your abilities. The second fragment we're going to be using is Undermining. Your void grenades weaken targets. So I like using Scatter Grenade for this reason, because once it explodes, it bounces everywhere and hits a bunch of targets, which in turn makes all your targets weakened, which then you will be proccing Stylish Executioner. Next one we're going to use is Persistence, which this is really simple. Any void buffs that are applied to you, just going to have increased duration, like invisibility, overshield, or devour. So Starvation is the next one I chose here. So with Starvation, when you pick up a void breach or you get an orb of power, it grants you devour. Devour is going to give you health, and it's going to give you grenade energy. Instability is the next one I chose. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. There's lots of ways in this build where you are going to proc volatile. This is why I decided not to use Gerfalcons, right? Gerfalcons is amazing, but I just decided not to use it because I wanted the benefits of having Gerfalcons, but also having the benefits of Orpheus Rig with getting my super back really fast. So this build in turn, like the synergy of it is so amazing. Let's get into the artifact mod. I don't have everything done yet on the artifact mod, which there are such good void mods here, which they will all work together really well. The only one I chose here that I feel is important for this build is Volatile Marksman. Rapid Void weapon precision hits and Rapid Void final blows grant volatile rounds. With this mod itself, if you're just using a void weapon and you get a kill with it, you're going to proc volatile rounds, which in turn is going to weaken everything around you, which you're going to go invisible, which then you proc On the Prowl. So everything just synergizes really well with this build, and that's why I decided to do this Orpheus Rig build. Let's get into the armor. So on the helmet here, I'm just using a Harmonic Siphon mods here just to get Orbs of Power. And then special ammo finder because I'm using Telesto. On the arms here, I wanted to have 2 mods that give me grenade ability cooldown and then melee ability cooldown. So that's why I chose impact induction and bolstering detonation. And then I'm using harmonic loader just to help with the speed of reload on my void weapons. On the chest, I'm using void reserve so I can increase the amount of ammo I can carry for my void weapons. You can just do whatever here, honestly, on the chest. This is like your dealer's choice here on the chest. All right, let's talk about Orpheus Rig. Provides ability energy for each target tethered by deadfall anchors. Mobius Quiver has an additional shot. This thing, like with my intellect high up and with this exotic, I like have my super back more than halfway when I use it, usually, depending on like the amount of enemies that are tethered in it. Just the synergy of the abilities, and with paired with this exotic, you get your abilities and you get your super back very fast, which is why I chose 100 intellect. All right, let's get into class item. So I chose bomber for more grenade ability cooldown, and then outreach for more melee ability cooldown, and then powerful attraction just for, you know, all the orbs. You could probably swap this out if you wanted to for special finisher. So, and then as far as stats, I prioritize resilience, of course, like every build we do. And then secondly, I did intellect, 100 intellect, because with Orpheus Rig, I'm just like getting my super back so quickly with tether. And then on top of it, I'm going to have it back even quicker because my intellect is at 100. So the cooldown for this is like super short. And then the last stat I prioritized was discipline for grenade ability cooldown. So let's get into the weapons. You can run whatever you want as your primary. I just chose Fatebringer because I love this hand cannon a lot. And then Telesto. So this is what I chose to run. This thing clears rooms. With the buff diffusion rifles, this thing hits so hard. Bungie has reworked Telesto, right? So this catalyst now, after activating Harbinger's Pulse multiple times, press R to cause a rain of projectiles on your next direct hit with this weapon. This like portal opens up in the sky, and these like projectiles of death just come raining down on all your enemies. It's so satisfying and fun to use. But yeah, this weapon's sick. I was also testing it with Hardlight. When this is set to void, you get like, I think like a 15 or 25% damage increase to weakened targets, which is crazy, but it's fun. So you could use this if you wanted to, and then you could run something like Tinasha's if you wanted to in the first slot. And then for the heavy, I'm using Commemoration. You could use Edge Transit, but I just want to use Commemoration because machine guns are kind of a thing now in this Heresy. So I just wanted to try it out and use it. And I just love Commemoration. This thing hits so hard and it's so fun to use for just like clearing ads. But yeah, that's it for the build pretty much. Let's check out the drip. This is the drip right here. I've been obsessed with this mask, this Dookie Dookie mask. It's like one of my favorite things. And then I'm using, you know, the cloak from Season of the Splicer. The arms, I think it's from this season or last season. I forget. This chest is from Deepstone. I'm using the default Orpheus Rig ornament. I find that all the other ones like didn't really look too well with this. And that's pretty much it for the drip. Go ahead and rate that drip. That's it for the build. Let me know what you all think. Take it out there with you, have some fun with it, and it'll be interesting to see what other void builds that come along during the season. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.